Hello, welcome back to Confident Petite, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Veronica, and on this channel I talk about all things style for petite women like you and me to look your best, to feel confident in your clothes and express yourself through your style. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about the best shoes and boots, in my opinion, for petite women. I'm gonna show you some of my shoes and boots, share with you what I've learned through the years in terms of what works and what doesn't, and also I'm gonna talk about how you can style different types of shoes and boots to look taller, to keep everything in your outfit in proportion with your petite frame, and without compromising on comfort or your personal style. I'm gonna start with more classic, elegant types of shoes, then I'll move on to boots, and I will also talk about sneakers. When it comes to shoes and boots for petite women, there are two things that I found to work really well over and over again. The first one is paying attention to the shape of the shoes. And pointed shoes are the ones that tend to work the best because that pointed shape adds 1 if not 2 centimeters to your legs. The second thing is paying attention to the color of the shoes. What you want to do is to pick shoes that are a similar or the same color as your trousers or your tights, or if you're not wearing tights, that are similar to your skin tone, or they are nonetheless a neutral color. So even light gray or white can function as a neutral color. The effect that you want to create is a vertical, uninterrupted line that gives the illusion of longer legs and consequently a taller figure. I want to show you first this pair of Brodo, that's the name of the brand, pointed shoes. I've had these shoes for like 10 years. I got them in a small boutique in France. These pair of shoes pretty much tick all the boxes, at least for me. They are, first of all, good quality. So if you want something that will last the test of time, I would definitely go for quality. They are a neutral color. They are light gray. So very easy for me to wear. I can combine them with so many different other colors, and both in winter and in spring or summer. I like the fact that they are pointed, as I talked about, but they are not extremely pointed. So the point of the shoe is not very dramatic. And that's another thing that you want to consider when you look at the shape of the shoes. You want something that you think, I think this shape will last long because it's not dramatic, it's not too trendy, so to speak. Go with something that will be timeless rather than just trendy, unless that's what you want to go for. I wear them in many different ways. I can dress them up, I can dress them down, I can wear them in a more elegant way, with trousers, with a skirt, even with suits. But I can also wear them more casually. I can wear them with jeans and a t-shirt, with a blazer, perfect. They definitely do the trick, and they immediately add something more special to a casual outfit. So very, very, very versatile. And I totally recommend to have at least a pair of shoes that have a similar function to the one that I've just described. Moving on, let's talk about boots. And I want to start with ankle boots specifically. This pair of ankle boots work really, really well for me because, to start with, they're black. I wear a lot of black and dark colors, so they go really well with my outfits and my personal style. That's number one. Number two, they are pointed. So again, the same effect that I talked about before. They have a block heel, so they are comfortable to walk in. I live in Stockholm. I don't drive a car here. I use public transports and walk a lot. So for me, this is very important. But the big plus of this ankle boots is that they have this V opening shape at the front. And what this does is helps you once again create that clean vertical line with your legs, compared to a lot of ankle boots that are cut in such a way at the top that creates that horizontal break with your legs. And sometimes, even when you create that monochromatic effect we talked about in terms of picking the same color of shoes and tights or trousers, they still can be a little bit challenging because of that horizontal line that cuts your legs. So if you are thinking about buying a pair of ankle boots, whether they are in a color that you like, black, brown, whatever, or a nude, if you can find something with this V shape opening at the front, I really invite you to try and see the difference. And of course, we cannot talk about boots without talking about knee-high boots, like this pair. These are my Bruno Magli vintage pair of boots that I got, I believe it was on Etsy some years ago. I use them a lot because they once again work very well for me. But one thing that we need to talk about is that as a petite woman, you need to be mindful of the length of the boot itself and where it ends on your legs. So you want them to end right before the knee, and avoid finding things that are middle ground. You don't want the boots to end in the wider part of your calf, because that makes your legs look bigger and also shorter in general. But as a rule of thumbs, I would say go for something clean that doesn't break that beautiful effect of the vertical line that we want to create. And I also want to mention over the knee high boots that we've been seeing in the past couple of years because they are back in fashion. Now, those type of boots, when we talk about them, we usually think that they are for tall women and that petite women really should avoid them. Yes and no. So I think that they can also work for petite women, but we need to be a little bit more strategic in how we style them. I think that one very good way to style them is to wear them with midi skirts. This way they disappear under the skirt and they still create that vertical line that we want to achieve, especially if you do it within a monochromatic outfit. If you haven't watched it already, I will link the video to the monochromatic outfit as one of my favorite tips for petite women here above and in the description box below. This is really again about experimenting and getting creative, and don't let fashion rules stop you from trying things thinking that they're only for tall women. And now let's talk about sneakers. But before jumping into it, I want to say, even though the common advice is if you are a petite woman, just wear high heels. Of course, high heels help to look taller, but they are not the only option. And the tips that I've been talking about here today can be applied to different types of shoes, whether they're high heels or flats. So in the case of elegant shoes, for example, you can go for a pair of pointed ballerinas. You can go for a pair of nude flats. You can still apply the same principle. One thing that I found to work well for me, trying different types of sneakers in different colors and shapes, is that the white sneakers tend to work the best. I think that is because white functions as a neutral color, and so it doesn't create that block effect on your feet. Obviously, when it comes to sneakers, we're talking about something that is generally a little bit more chunky. So if you put a pair of black sneakers or multiple colors sneakers, you immediately see this thing on your feet that looks a little bit chunky. But if you go for white sneakers, and the typical example is this pair of Adidas, I find that they work really well. They work well with trousers, with jeans, with skirts. I would say these are probably the only type of sneakers that I found to work well for me in terms of, you know, sneakers that I don't use at the gym. So in the summer, if I want to wear, let's say, a jeans skirt with a pair of sneakers, I would go for this. The other type of sneakers that we've seen around a lot lately that are now in fashion are the so-called ugly sneakers. This is what I got for myself as sort of my version of the ugly sneaker. They're not even the quote-unquote ugliest out there, because I wanted something that would still work for my petite frame, but they are still part of that category. You want to be careful with this type of sneakers. If this is your style, I would say try to go for something that is relatively neutral, like this one. I would avoid a lot of mixed colors or dark colors. This is something you probably need to experiment with. I hope you liked this video and found it useful. If so, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Also, let me know in the comment section below, what is your experience with shoes and boots as a petite woman? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.